on your
No,
mic or
not at
anything?
all. I ran so many tests on it because I was so worried about it.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's wrong with it at all. It just needs, like, I think he lost a piece to it or something. Cause
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah. There's a little screw in that
yeah.
part.
There's a little screw guy that I can't find.
Why
So,
did he take it off?
you know, I'd love to know. I really would love to know. That's a Ryan Love question, unfortunately.
Ryan Love,
Come on the pod,
come on the pod. Tell us what you were cooking.
dude. I can't really talk details about it because like technically I'm not, like, I didn't sign an NDA or anything,
Mm-hmm.
but I mean, like, I just don't want to blow up their spot. Worked a video shoot that was so insufferable yesterday that I can't stop thinking about it. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you more off pod because it is like an off pod conversation.
Mm-hmm.
But dog, like, you ever just meet somebody who you immediately don't vibe with?
Yeah.
Try that like 5 times over.
Oh God.
Try meeting, like, hang on, how many? I guess 8 people I immediately did not vibe with and was on set with all day. Anyway. Welcome back to This Ain't a Scene, It's a Podcast. We backlogged and didn't record last week, but still released an episode for your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Why did we do that? Why didn't we record last week?
I couldn't.
Yeah, that's right. You couldn't.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember why, but I couldn't.
Yeah, I don't remember why either.
Who are you?
I'm Carson Pace. He, him pronouns.
Holy crap. Well, I'm Dawson Beck, also he, him pronouns.
You've never said your last name on it.
I don't think you have either.
Yeah,
I just
I don't
kind of
think I have
followed
either.
suit.
They used to do that. Shout out, because I think I was their first Patreon subscriber. Shout out QAnon Anonymous. They used to bleep their last names because they didn't want QAnon people blowing up their spot.
That's awesome.
And then, like, when they unbleeped their last names, like the first episode where they said their last names, it was like such a big deal. Like, because then you could find all of them on socials and stuff. It was fun. It was fun. Shout out Julian. You're my boy.
I would say we could do that, but people already know.
People know who we are. Let's talk about it. I went over to our friend Dom's to take part, and you graciously invited me to take part in Bummer Hill Gang vocals.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we, as of last week, we are done recording the album entirely.
That is so crazy.
We are sending it off to get mixed, probably start of next week once Dom gets all of the stems comped together and everything.
Fuck yeah.
Mixing will probably take like 2 or so weeks, depending on Drew's schedule. The guy we have mixing it, Drew, mixed the latest Gami project, The Brightest Days, and also is their front of house person.
Fuck yeah.
Super cool dude. And after it's mixed, we'll get it mastered pretty quickly, and then we pitch to indie labels and see if we have to wait to put it out for a while longer. Yeah. I want this thing to be out like today, but it's gonna take a while.
You're in the hurry up and wait stage, which is the worst. I remember that so distinctly with Die on Mars. It was like, it's finished.
It's finished.
With it? Yeah.
No, I just gotta sit here and have it be finished and not do anything with it.
Right?
But,
yeah. No. So we're both sitting on new music.
Oh yeah.
So dope.
Oh yeah.
So dope.
Fans of both of our bands will eat at some point.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping they're eating still.
Yeah.
But we saw like a surge in which I feel like this doesn't happen. We saw a surge in Spotify followers, because you know how you can follow an artist on Spotify?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I only do that, which, like, I don't use Spotify anymore, but I feel like I only did that when it was someone who, it was like, well, obviously I'm gonna follow them. They're like a band I've been listening to since I was in high school or whatever. I feel like I only did that for like, for example, Manchester Orchestra. I absolutely follow on Spotify, right? But I can't think of another. Like, if I just like found a band, like, maybe it's just me, but like I'm not hitting that follow button. Like, I don't know why. But we saw like a huge surge in it in the past like week and a half or something. Like it went up by like 3 or 4,000.
Jesus Christ!
But our listeners didn't go up.
Huh?
So I was like, well, what the hell is this?
What happened?
And like I know like the label's not buying bots or something like that. So like
that'd be awkward.
we went up from like 19,000 to like 23,000.
Christ.
It was very weird. And I was like, all right, I mean, whatever. I'll take it.
Yeah.
That's the thing is like people's monthly listeners get like mega inflated because it's the number that gets displayed. And the quickest way to run up that number is to get playlisted. So these bands that get playlisted and have like 500,000 monthly listeners but can't sell 50 tickets, like that happens.
Yeah.
And I feel like if the followers were displayed, like if that was a public number that everyone could see, that would be a much better judge of like, that would be a much better metric to judge ticket sales by, because monthly listeners just is a poor ticket sales metric, you know?
Yeah. A lot
depends
of the times.
on who. But,
definitely depends on who, but like, especially if you see a band that has like fucking 6-figure monthlies and then they have one song that has a bunch of streams and the rest of them are like 2,000 or something.
It happens to instrumental bands a lot.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, like, and, you and I are so far outside like the sphere of like what dads listen to. And I'm not talking about like our dads, because we have cool dads for the most part. But for the most part, on my part, I've never met your dad. But
my dad's cool.
Your dad is cool. From everything I've heard, your dad sounds very cool. But like normal ass dads love listening to instrumental rock music while they're doing other things. That is like something I hear continuously. Dan's dad talked to me about this, about how he doesn't save any of the instrumental rock he listens to on a streaming service. He just hits shuffle and it like is just something on while he's like doing work or while he's like working out or running or something like that. He's like, I couldn't tell you a single band from it. And I was like, whoa, dude.
That's insane.
So, like, if I think, and this is not, if you play in an instrumental rock band, first of all, get a singer. Second of all, this is not to disparage them, but I think it happens a lot. Like, where their monthly listeners will just be like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, that for an instrumental rock band? And it's gotta be that. I don't know. But
sometimes instrumental rock bands like swag out. Like I'm trying to remember who I saw. They were on tour with Spirit Box lately. Intervals, yeah. Intervals.
They're Dowboys homies. Yeah,
they fucking rule.
Great, yeah.
Like
they are like the exception to like most of that shit. I don't like. They are absolutely the exception.
I think for instrumental rock, you gotta be like progressive in some manner musically to like retain my interest, because if it's just like a standard rock instrumental with no vocals on it, like there are some genres I can connect to better instrumentally than others. Like instrumental hip hop is a lot of fun to listen to. Electronic is a lot of fun to listen to, but like simple sort of like verse chorus kind of rock music, that needs a singer on it to like propel it higher.
You have to really be spazzing like Intervals is.
Yeah.
Did they play the old shit? Did they break out the 7 strings?
I don't know shit about Intervals. I just liked their set.
I see. Yeah, I saw them open for a different instrumental band. Whitney went with me too. We saw them open for Chon pre-COVID. They were great. But then like the 2 slot in there was Between the Buried and Me, who's very much not instrumental. Like they are like, sometimes they are like closer to death metal. That really scared the Chon kids. And then they're not a band anymore, so I feel nothing saying this. Chon was like the most boring thing I think I've ever sat through.
Damn.
And like great band. Like don't get me wrong, like they're a good band, but like I was like, this does not appeal to me in a live setting at all. I was just watching it and I was just like, that fucker sure can play guitar, huh?
That boy hitting those strings, huh?
That boy's strumming. Can we talk about this? So I think one of the reasons why you and I started this podcast is because we like thinking critically about music. We like it's a hobby.
Yeah.
Like apart from the two of us being musicians, I think thinking critically about music is something that both of us like doing. Would you agree? So, with that comes, I love listening to other people think critically about music, which is why I recommended you Mike the Snare, which we can talk about, I guess, probably off pod, but or we can talk about it after this. So I consume a lot of that. I consume a lot of guy talks about music. FD Signifier, Mike the Snare.
Yeah.
But most importantly, I listened to a little podcast called IndieCast, hosted by Ian Cohen and Stephen Hayden.
Yeah.
Two music critics, Pitchfork, Uprocks, Stereo Gum,
Ian
Rolling
Cohen
Stone.
is based as hell, honestly.
Love that guy. He came to our San Diego show on the Drugs tour.
Oh, shit.
Such a homie. I love you, Ian. Thank you for doing that again. I hope I didn't punish you too much. Ian's dope. He's so cool. But and this will tie back to the subject of this podcast. I was listening to their second to most recent episode. They had like some audio get corrupted, and then I think maybe they're taking a break, or I guess the episode comes out tomorrow, but their second to most recent episode, they covered We Didn't Start the Fire, the new Fall Out Boy version. And Stephen Hayden declared Fall Out Boy as his most hated band of this century. And it sucked, man. I don't think he compared them to Weezer in the sense of like, he was like, this We Didn't Start the Fire thing. Not only did he say it sounds like something that Rivers Cuomo would do, he also said, and like he was like, I can't believe this wasn't a Rivers Cuomo thing, but he was like, he compared them in the sense of like, they are like Weezer has this back catalog that Stephen Hayden remembers listening to when he was like in college in the early 90s, or maybe he was out of college. I don't know how old Stephen Hayden is. I think he's around my dad's age, but he was like, Fall Out Boy does not have the like strong back catalog with me that Weezer does. And also, I think if Weezer did this, we would all just roll our eyes and just go, yep. But since Fall Out Boy did it, everyone is like throwing gas on the fire.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he was, you know what? I think he was saying it. I wish he wasn't, but he was. I think what he's getting at is that Fall Out Boy is a more embarrassing band than Weezer in his eyes, which is crazy.
it is like, when you think about both bands and like all the shit that Weezer had, like, because if you're gonna put out a statement like Fall Out Boy is a more embarrassing band than Weezer or something to that effect,
yeah,
like, holy shit, dude, Weezer has like no shade to Weezer at all, like a little shade to Weezer,
but
no shade to Weezer, just because like obviously Blue Album is like one of the fucking craziest rock records,
unbelievable album,
like just front to back, every single track is fucking insane. Absolutely changed the landscape. And Pinkerton is also really, really good, even if it's like deeply uncomfortable at points.
Yeah.
But like
that album should put you on a list.
Rivers Cuomo probably is on a list of the wackiest guys out
wackiest
there.
white dudes.
Wackiest white dudes. But like, god damn, dude, like Weezer has done so much embarrassing shit. Like, have you listened to Death to False Metal?
I haven't listened to Death to False Metal.
It is shockingly terrible.
I've listened to Ratitude. So like Make Believe to Hurley is like all ass.
Yeah.
Maladroit is great. If you haven't listened to the follow up to the Green album, Maladroit, you should, because it's dope. And it rocks like mega hard. It's like not as raw as Pinkerton, but it is like, it's very raw and it's very cool. It's the closest Weezer's ever going to get to a metal album. It's dope. But like Make Believe to Hurley with Death to False Metal included in there, coupled with, I'd say, Teal and, you know what, just Teal.
Mm-hmm.
Just Teal.
Pacific Daydream.
I don't love Pacific Daydream.
That shit is ass.
I don't love
terrible.
Pacific Daydream. The last song on it is very good, but yeah, sure. Teal coupled with most of Pacific Daydream, I think that is more bad music than Fall Out Boy has ever made.
Well, it's like,
but
it's kind of embarrassing. Is kind of a difficult, like qualifier to put into words, because like there are some bad bands that like aren't really that embarrassing.
Sure.
You know,
would you call Nickelback embarrassing? Because I would.
Honestly, no.
I would not call them embarrassing.
They are so like, Nickelback is such a self-assured band. Like they just do their own.
They do not give a fuck.
They do not give
cringe.
a fuck.
Yeah.
Nickelback isn't embarrassing. It's embarrassing to listen to them, but they as a band are not embarrassing. It depends, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's just the stigma that comes with it. I'm not calling you embarrassing if you listen to Nickelback.
Sure. And it was like cutesy, like Tumblr era. It was like the funniest thing you could do was to hate on Nickelback. You know what I mean?
But like Falling in Reverse, that is an embarrassing band.
Oh, 1000%.
They are terrible and embarrassing. Like it's a separate quality. So like I honestly, like somebody calling Fall Out Boy an embarrassing band, considering some of the shit they've pulled, like I can see that. Especially with this We Didn't Start the Fire thing.
No, Falling in Reverse, no matter how big they are going to get, they are never going to be in the zeitgeist like Fall Out Boy was or is.
No.
Or Weezer. So, I mean, when we're talking embarrassing, like Falling in Reverse, of course, that shit's embarrassing, but like so is All Time Low.
Mm-hmm.
And like I feel like All Time Low hasn't been a part of this conversation in many, many years.
Yeah.
Like it's been years since All Time Low has had like, I mean, they've never been the equivalent of Fall Out Boy ever.
Mm-mm.
So like, I mean, I think like there are definitely more embarrassing bands, but when it comes to like the level of embarrassing, an embarrassing band that can A, call a tour the Hella Mega Tour, B, go on the Hella Mega Tour, I'm honestly going to say Green Day is the most embarrassing band out of those three. They have to be. Like, I don't know. Weezer,
that's a good argument, honestly, because like they have such a strange discography where like from like when they started to basically American Idiot, they were like consistent, like on average really, really good. Yeah. And like American Idiot was a really good like on top of just being a good ass album, it's like a moment of reinvention for them.
And I mean, it revived them entirely.
Yeah, just put them back on top of the world. And like, but then after that album came out, they just decided to never reinvent themselves again. And
I went to the 21st Century Breakdown Tour in 2009, 10?
I don't know.
9 or 10. I went to the 21st Century Breakdown Tour. And even then, the consensus amongst like everyone was that like 21st Century Breakdown is like not very good. Like it was like I remember them like going into 21 Guns when it was still like kind of new, and everyone was like, "Oh, brother!" Like it was very silly. And then they did that. They did that awesome as fuck live album, which I remember like.
Is the live album awesome as fuck, or is that what it's called?
It's called Awesome as Fuck.
Okay.
And I believe that is 2011, and that was like, I believe even on that recording, Billy Joe says something like, "We are not going to like. It's going to be a minute before you get like actual new music from us." And then I mean, I believe that was recorded on the 21st Century Breakdown tour, and those songs sound bad. Like those specific songs are like they hadn't figured out how to play them yet. Like I don't know what it is post American Idiot, but like the time in between American Idiot's release and 21st Century Breakdown's release was when that band A, peaked, and B, was the best. And you know, you see them live now and they're fine. I saw them live in 2021 and they were great. Like that's the thing, is they have so many hits that they can ride this back catalog before they're like playing something off fucking Revolution Radio, which is one of the worst records I've ever heard. Which I believe is their 2016 or 2015 album.
I think 2015.
I think 2015, yeah. Where they played it and I was just like, go fuck yourself. Like this sucks so much ass. They played like one song off of that. And then it was just like immediately back to hits. And they had just put out a new record. They played nothing from it.
Awesome.
Nothing from it.
Wait, was that when Father of All Motherfuckers came out?
Father of All.
Well, yeah. I don't blame them for not playing anything off of that.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with that. And like, I don't know. I just like, I would call them, and Mike the Snare, shout out Mike the Snare, amazing YouTube channel. If you get the chance to check it out, he's not even at 1 million subscribers yet, and
which
that's
is crazy,
fucking criminal. You everybody get on that shit. When he did his Green Day Discog dive, which of the hella mega bands, the only one he hasn't done is Fall Out Boy, but I feel like it's coming, especially with how much they've been in the zeitgeist recently. And just in the musical conversation as like legends, and they're basically on their own Eras tour right now. I feel like he's going to do it pretty soon. But in his Green Day thing, he has this like mechanic called the overplayed octopus, where like every single time he like can't separate a song from how much it's been overplayed, like he just puts that on the screen. And I'll be real with you, like when I hear Green Day come on in a public setting, I am embarrassed. Like it's so overplayed at this point that it's just like ridiculous. And like so like for Green Day to be your favorite band, gotta be the most embarrassing. Gotta be, right?
Even for Green Day fans, like I have a friend, like I have a friend in Charlotte, North Carolina, who I grew up with, who Green Day was his favorite band for like the longest time. And like I think we talked about Father of All around when it came out or something like that, and he was like, yeah, that was
yeah,
that was not great.
And I mean, I think like Billy Joe is just, I mean, it feels like they're just going through the motions at this point.
Yeah.
And you know, it's cool that they can still do stadium tours for sure, but like that is like, that's the curse, you know what I mean? It's just like, sure, you're making a lot of money doing these fucking stadium tours, and like you have so many radio royalties from fucking Holiday and American Idiot and Boulevard of Broken Dreams, but like,
and 21 Guns
at
too.
what cost, brother? Like
it's such a, I would love to like see if he's talked about why they just haven't decided to be exciting ever again.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's not going to put it in terms like that, obviously, because,
well,
you know.
It's got to just be that you get older and you're like, where do I go from here? Like,
Noise rock.
Uno Dos Tre. Yeah. They made 3 albums to get that stupid pun.
God,
It makes me very upset.
what a terrible idea.
We're really putting off the conversation of this song we're doing today.
Speaking of embarrassments, we're talking about.
This might unfortunately add to Stephen Hyden's argument.
Yeah, listen, like, I can see why Fall Out Boy would be considered an embarrassing band. Like, even if you think about all of their hits, like from Take This to Your Grave to Foley, which is a fucking great 4-album run. And like,
yep.
God damn, you listen to a song like this and you're like, holy shit, dude. And the song that we're talking about today is Death Valley off of Save Rock and Roll. And here's a snippet of it.
Look at that, it's over. Wow.
Aren't you glad that that's over?
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah. So I hadn't listened to this song in 10 years, I think. Because Save Rock and Roll was 2013. I definitely have not listened to this song since then. Yeah. Give me your thoughts first.
This is just like off the bat, I listened to this like 5 times on the way over here. Because like I'm delaying talking about it again, but it's sort of relevant. I've been driving around most of the day. I went up to Woodstock to talk to our friends Nico and Chucho about music video for Bummer Hill.
Fuck yeah.
And on the way there and part of the way over here, I was listening to this album, Man Alive by Everything Everything. If you don't know Everything Everything, they are my favorite band ever made, and you should listen to them. But Man Alive got a 13-year anniversary reissue with another vinyl disc of B-sides in addition to the proper vinyl, which has been out of print since 2013.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, since 2010, honestly. Like, that shit, fantastic album. And I was listening to that. The whole time I was listening to Man Alive, I was like, I have to listen to Death Valley after this. And Man Alive is such an electric album. Like, it's in my top 20 of all time. Like, it's such a phenomenal record. It's like every single song is so different and exciting, and they just go down so many musical avenues, like with math rock and art rock and all this cool shit. And then I listened to Death Valley immediately after that, and it's the kind of shit where I listen to it and I'm like, okay, how was this band in the studio making this, listening back to it while they're making it and going, yeah, I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
Like, this is a song that I want to see through to the end and that I think has potential to be a really good song. Like, how do you do that with this kind of thing?
So, I have a few theories, and I'll get into them. But I want to talk about how I felt listening to this today. Like I said, listen to Stephen Hyden talk about how this was the most embarrassing band. And how he thinks this is the worst band of the 21st century. And I listened to this and I was like, he's got a point. This fucking song's terrible.
It's remarkably bad.
Hang on. Yeah, I mean, I felt like, and this will kind of dive into my theories as to why they were excited about this song. My number one being when Pete Wentz talks about why they went on hiatus. And when I think about why they went on hiatus, Pete usually says something along the lines of all pop music had become 4 on the floor dance music. And when you listen to this album, I don't totally immediately go, oh, that's 4 on the floor dance music, but it is like close. Butch Walker produced this, and the sheen that this album has on it is very similar to Taylor Swift's original version of Red, which he also did a couple of the songs on, which I think we've mentioned before. He did I Knew You Were Trouble, which has this like electro, like almost like dubstep like thing going on with it, where there's like effect sweeps and like stuff that Taylor Swift would never normally have in her music. And this shit is riddled with that.
Oh yeah.
And I think what Fall Out Boy wanted, particularly with these songs that weren't singles, I think what Fall Out Boy wanted was for these songs to be remixed by DJs, and then used as some kind of club thing, or they wanted the song to be club ready on its own. Which, like, again, there's fucking effect sweeps. There are like impacts on the kick drums. Like I heard some like glass breaks with this. They're buried in the mix, but with my Apple Music lossless subscription, they really, really come through in this way that I would describe as grating. So the reason why I think anyone would be excited about this is because Joe and Andy have to play on the record for it to be a Fall Out Boy record. They played on this song. Patrick and Pete want the song to be club ready. And they've reached this compromise that leaves us with this terrible ass fucking song.
Because you said you used a great word to describe this song, and that word is grating. And like I don't know how like accurate your theory is at all, but like it
neither do I.
The club ready thing definitely sounds plausible for this song in particular, because like, to Pete's comment about all pop music has become four on the floor dance music, like is that not this song? Like,
yeah,
this whole song is four on the floor, fucking just boom 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 boom, beat it into your head, fucking like. And it's one thing to try and make a dance song, but it's another thing to try and make a dance song without any groove, because the song doesn't have any groove. Like,
no,
you can move to the four on the floor beat, but there's nothing else there to make you want to, like, I don't know, hit the gritty on it or something. I don't fucking know. And like, it's so annoying to listen to a dance song that wants you to dance that is incapable of making you dance.
Yeah.
Because like, also in the beginnings of each of the verses, they have like a high pass or something on Patrick's voice, and literally every time he hits a high note on, like, and his voice has that filter on it, it makes me so uncomfortable.
It's real weird.
It sends a shiver up my spine, and I'm not even joking.
Did you A/B this with any of the other Say Rock and Roll tracks?
I couldn't handle that.
No, I didn't think you did. But I mean, I was wearing headphones all day doing yard work, and I didn't listen to the whole album. That I couldn't take. But I queued this up, I think, 3 times, and I don't know if it was just like me listening to it on Apple Music for the first time or something like that, or like just I was noticing like weirder things, but I was like, this doesn't sound like this record. It sounds like Red. It sounds like a club ready song, and I A/B'd it with the title track of this record. It sounds like 2 different albums. Yeah. And this is later in the track list, and it's close to that song. And then I A/B'd it with Rat-a-Tat, and I was like, whoa. It's like staggering. Like, I wasn't expecting to say this. I was expecting to dislike this. I was not happy that we spun for this. I think this is the worst song in the album. And I, like, above The Mighty Fall, which I think is terrible. We have the same opinion on that fucking goddamn song. I think this is the worst song on the record. It also sounds the worst while like it's definitely trying to sound the best and the
Mhm.
cleanest, but it somehow sounds the worst.
It's like a horseshoe theory thing. Where
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
if you go too far into the clean, polished direction, it just sounds like shit again.
So like you can hear in my opinion, if a song is mixed well, I should only be able to notice like delay on vocals if that is like intentional.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like this with the again Apple Music lossless subscription,
It's really worth it, y'all.
I can like hear the slapback of Patrick's vocals. I can hear the high pass is so noticeable. There's no low end on his voice for those verses, and it is painful. It's just like they're so like it's so polished that it reminds me of like GarageBand loops. And I know that we've previously said like Just One Yesterday, like, you know, like it's just like one sample pack that they made a whole song out of.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking sounds like GarageBand loops. Like in like they were all the sounds on this song were created in a lab to be annoying. Like
it's like
by Apple.
it's so crazy because you listen to this thing and you're at least I was like, because I'm sure there's defenders of this song.
Oh boy are there.
It's like it's just so interesting how like almost everything is completely wrong.
Yeah I mean
it's embarrassing.
it's fucking embarrassing. And so one of the things that I did learn just from like a quick pass on like, because to be frank with you, I just want to talk to you about the Mike the Snare Prince video. That's all I want to do. I just want to talk to you about video. Mike the Snare's 2-hour Prince.
Michael the Snare.
I listened to Purple Rain today like 4 times, and I was like, fuck, this album's good. And then I listened to this, and I was like, God damn it. Take away music. So this was a, you're going to be so mad. This was a Stump Troman song.
Oh.
Yeah.
Joe!
Pete Wentz had next to nothing to do with the lyrics on this one. He's credited as songwriter on this, but it is a Pete and Joe joint.
I feel
and I think there's a reason why these have never happened again.
Oh my God.
You know, and like after this, after they save rock and roll, they pivot to being this like weird fucking thing for 2 albums that is not this.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be real with you, I prefer fucking American Beauty, American Psycho so much over this.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we've talked, like Tom Lovejoy brought up that like Irresistible is like the forgotten sports song. I think this is the forgotten sports song.
You know,
Irresistible definitely still is, but this feels like, and I wish there was some database, you know what, it probably exists, of like every song that's been a college football stinger. Because like we know Centuries has been one. We know fucking My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark has been one. This had to, like, I feel like maybe they ran this once and didn't see any uptick in streams or sales from running it once, and they were like, pull it. No, never again. Death Valley, never again.
You know what this song feels like to me? It doesn't feel like a sports anthem to me.
Okay.
Or like a sports stinger for college football. It feels like Fall Out Boy is trying to sell me a car, a laptop, or a smartphone.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
It's the kind of shit you would see in those like fucking Apple commercials where the iPhones are like flying through a white void and like there's a MacBook spinning on an axis, or like a Lexus is driving through a mountain or something.
Do you remember when Steve Jobs would like, you might be too young for this, Steve Jobs would like have like hand-picked curated things on iTunes, and you could like buy the playlist he put together? Feels like this would make it on that.
Oh God, were they that bad?
Yeah, I mean, like, it was always like whatever U2 had released that year, because U2 was Steve Jobs' favorite band,
Yeah.
which is amazing. U2 has done so much humanitarian work. Steve Jobs, ethical monster. Can't believe that shit. It would always be like whatever U2 released recently, a popular femme artist, like a recent popular female artist, like Jessie J would probably be an accurate example, or
Domino.
like MIA.
Yeah.
I remember was on there one time, and I think he may have died before this album came out, and boy is he lucky. But
God, I wish that was me.
I record on Logic Pro X. But fuck, man, like it just seems so like, yeah, you're right. It's like corporate rock, and it's not as bad as like the Jeremy Renner songs that he did for Jeep, but like,
oh god,
it's pretty fucking close.
Those Jeremy Renner songs are at least really funny.
Those Jeremy Renner songs are hilarious. I'm gonna be real with you. I think we hate on Imagine Dragons a little too much for ushering in the era of rock music that we're in.
Yeah, honestly, I don't think they were responsible for it.
I feel like Save Rock and Roll is the true culprit, and I mean that with all my heart.
Well, when did okay, so Save Rock and Roll came out in like 2013.
I believe Night Visions is 2011, which Night Visions is before Imagine Dragons gets to be where they are.
Sort of. I listened to Night Visions somewhat recently, and it was like
that should be on one of our wheels.
Oh God, God, don't say things like that. Like Night Visions,
like it.
I did too. Honestly, Night Visions. Like
Yeah.
I used to love Its Time and Radioactive.
I think Amsterdam still holds up as a
Amsterdam
pretty good song.
rocks.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Tiptoe
like,
also. I would say Tiptoe.
I will
holds
not
up as
even.
well.
I will not even lie to you. Amsterdam is a really fucking good song.
Yeah.
But like there are flashes of the arena rock band that Imagine Dragons would become.
Yeah.
Like Radioactive is a huge like. That song would fit really well on this album, on Save Rock and Roll.
It would fit really well on that, and like I don't disagree with you, but like I would say the reason why Imagine Dragons sounds like they do is because, and I also think that Radioactive, yes, made headroom for rock music like this, and they were able to shove Save Rock and Roll down our throats because Radioactive kind of primed us for it. But there's not another song on that record that sounds like Radioactive.
Yeah.
Radioactive just happened to be what worked for them, and they spent their next whole album trying to reproduce that. They couldn't. And then what is their next big song after that? Natural?
No, they had some, because the album after Night Vision, Smoke and Mirrors, had some like hits that weren't as big. They had I Bet My Life off of that one. Oh, phone call.
God damn it. Yes? I'm doing my podcast right now. What's up? Uh-huh. Huh? 3 and 4. Okay, bye. Dan Hodgson moment.
But yeah, as I was
I
saying,
bet my life isn't as big as Radioactive.
No, it's
though.
not.
Like,
It's definitely a minor hit.
Yeah.
Fucking horrible song. Hate
Terrible
that
song.
But the next like smash hit they had after that was, I believe, I don't remember which came out
Believer?
first. It was either Believer or Thunder.
Because
those were both on Evolve.
And those are Radioactive 2 and 3.
Yeah, pretty much.
I am of the opinion that Smoke and Mirrors did not work, and they were just like, all right, let's just do Radioactive again. Like, let's just do what was getting us to play stadiums one album in. But dude, I really think Fall Out Boy's the culprit. Like, just for like I feel like they're the reason 21 Pilots got as big as they did. I feel like they're the reason that bands like, and I even kind of like Nothing But Thieves. I think they have some smashes, but like bands like them could come in and have this like leather jacket rock and roll, but like we still have trap beats type thing and like be successful. I hate to say it, I truly think that Fall Out Boy is the reason why we are in the state of rock music that we are now coming out of, because of bands like Turnstile, and I'd even throw fucking Lorna Shore in there for like, you know, being able, and Knocked Loose also for being able to like, you know, break through the mainstream. But like, we're definitely coming out of it because time is fucking circular. And, you know, anyway, it's just like, listening to this song, I was like, man, this ushered in an era of music that sounds like this, and it is their fault.
I would be interested to hear, like if any of our listeners have a differing opinion on what album or what artist got us to the state of rock that we're in or have been in for a while.
Yeah.
Because it's like sometimes it's really easy to pinpoint when like just a game-changing thing or an artist just like hit and everyone was like, oh fuck, like when Billie Eilish hit, everyone was trying to copy Billie Eilish,
and that's why we have that ABCDEFU song.
Yep. That's why that exists. That's why Gail exists. That's why
Olivia Rodrigo exists.
Olivia Rodrigo is like it is proof that some like because what a lot of artists, when they heard Billie Eilish, they were like, oh, so the key to getting smash success right now, or like what's hot right now, is whisper singing and like being honest or whatever. But they forgot that Billie Eilish is a phenomenal writer. Like has the capability.
Has an other half that helps her write everything.
Phineas
fucking
is
brilliant. Yeah,
excellent producer. Like, but Olivia kind of understood that you have to also be good at writing to do that, and also innovate on your own, which is why she put out like Good For You and Driver's License and stuff like that, which were also tremendous hits. And then people started copying Olivia Rodrigo. And then we got in this endless loop of people copying each other. But like for rock, it's been like,
it is a little more amorphous than just like, I mean, it's a combination of Radioactive and My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark. But like, it's still very much there.
I think the most like instantaneous and recognizable change in the rock landscape to ever happen in the past like fucking 30 or 40 years was when Nirvana put out Smells Like Teen Spirit, because that immediately killed hundreds of bands' careers. And like the effects are so obvious when you look at it. Like just right when that song came out, rock was just changed forever. Which is crazy.
I would also like to point out, like, whatever era you would call this and the Radioactive era, because Radioactive and what I'm about to talk about existed around the same time. I think that Fall Out Boy's return from hiatus, coupled with Imagine Dragons getting really big, and also like I don't know, I maybe even toss like Royal Blood in there. I mean, they're obviously not as big as Fall Out Boy, but like maybe them too. I think that they're like, I think they are responsible for a band like Fun breaking up. Fun and Foster the People both got killed by this record, is what I'm going to say. Because like there's that time period of like 2009 to 2013 where it was like Passion Pit was like having hits, Foster the People had hits, which I mean I still think Torches holds up really well, and then Fun puts out one fucking phenomenal record in 2009, and then they put out Some Nights, and it was like holy shit, like this is the direction music is going. Like the Black Keys were one of the biggest bands in that time period. This killed all of it. Like I think this and Imagine Dragons are solely, like, just absolutely responsible for whatever that type of music is just being eradicated. Name a hit in the last few years that has sounded at all like Foster the People or Gautier. Like, you can't.
I can't really name you many hits in general from the last few years. Like, that's just not really how the landscape of popular music is for me nowadays. Like, I just don't. It's a lot easier to not pay attention to the charts.
Yeah. Well, and I think also you can kind of mark the end of the monoculture around this time, especially with the rise of Spotify and SoundCloud and Bandcamp. You know,
I think also with hip hop having the rise that it did and like becoming the dominant genre, which it has been for a while. Like there was pushback on that from like the popular music like people, I guess. Like it just didn't seem like everyone was on board with hip hop being the big thing. So like when like around when songs like I don't think this was the impetus of hip hop becoming the new thing. It's just an example, but like Bad and Bougie,
great example,
was like that hit, and then like just a lot of the popular art critics who studied pop music and whatever were like just so fucking confused.
Yeah,
because like it's like what do you mean this is like the highest charting song right now? What do you mean? Yeah. Childish Gambino calls this like the best thing ever on stage at an award ceremony.
Yeah.
Like what's going on right now? And I think that kind of disconnect between what the people were actually listening to and what like high artists were consuming and trying to make the big thing, that is a really like that split off everyone from the monoculture. Definitely.
And I think like hip hop being the dominant genre is like, that isn't like, sure, it is the dominant genre, and it's like definitely what I hear most, just like everywhere in my everyday life. But I wouldn't call rap music the monoculture, like at all. Because I mean, the monoculture is just, it's eradicated. I mean, like, and I think this is a good marker. This song in particular and this album are great markers for that. And I mean, you could say American Beauty, American Psycho is the last album they made with there being a true monoculture, right? Because, you know, like Mania is so lost in its direction. Like it has no idea what it is. It has no idea what's popular, so it just tries for everything. And it's because everything's popular and nothing is now, you know what I mean? And when I talk about like the era of rock music that we're in, it's like, we're not really in one. Everybody has their thing. Everybody has what they do. They're just trying to carve out their niche.
Yeah.
And I mean, fucking pop artists are doing that right now. The closest thing we have to the monoculture right now is Taylor Swift's Eras tour.
Yeah.
That's
honestly,
that is straight up the closest thing to the monoculture that we have, is because my grandmother knows that that's going on right now. You know what I mean? And that's why American Idol isn't successful anymore. That's why you never hear about who won The Voice most recently.
That just like The Voice. God, it's such a funny show. I'm gonna look up when that premiered, because like I think it premiered around the time that this was happening.
Yeah. But and now, I mean, I know that it still gets viewership, but I mean, like, it is regardless. It's a very big niche, but it is still a niche market.
Yeah,
everything is a niche market now, and nothing is at the same time.
The Voice premiered in 2011, and there have been 0 big pop stars to come out of The Voice.
Oh yeah,
I think the closest anyone got was Melanie Martinez, who is a rapist.
I did not know she was on The Voice.
Yeah, she didn't even win The Voice. She was on Adam's team and got like 4th, but Adam liked her so much that he signed her anyway.
Damn. I bet he's regretting that now that she made her fake Bjork album.
I mean, apparently that sold really well for that like level of popularity.
She is selling out like Coca-Cola Roxy sized venues right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think she's doing like the marathons, like she's doing like Fillmore's and like city wineries, but like those are still 1,000-cap venues that she's selling out, which is fucking bonkers.
It is bonkers.
She sold out that place we played with Avatar last year. She sold out that fucking like I want to say like 2,000-cap theater in Kentucky. And I saw that she did play there, and I did see pictures from it. I don't know why I keep seeing content from her Portals tour, but I keep seeing it. I don't know how it appears. I think just from people making fun of it. And also I follow Brad Taste in Music, who rips on her all the time.
Yeah. That'll do it.
Yeah. She sold out the Norva, which like when we played there with Avatar, the balcony was closed and it was still like, I think like 1,200 cap and sold out. She sold that shit out, and the balcony was definitely open for that shit. It's crazy that she is like still. I mean, she still has a market, and it truthfully, like, number one, you can only be canceled by the people who love you. Number two, everyone has a niche right now, and Fall Out Boys just happens to be very, very big. But they made an album, So Much for Stardust, that is for their niche, and it worked. And I mean, the collapse of there being any sort of monoculture other than what's trending on Twitter this week, it really is like, it really is kind of staggering. And I think that this album is a great marker of it.
Yeah, honestly, because like I don't see a song like My Songs Know What You Did in the Dark getting as big as it did again, like from
Absolutely
a band like
not.
Fall Out Boy, who's having a comeback record, whose success was really great back when they were around, but then like My Songs just eclipsed everything they did pre-hiatus.
Yeah.
I don't see that happening ever again.
No, I don't. I don't foresee them having. I mean, like, what's the biggest song in the world right now? Do you know? Because I don't.
I think
exactly.
I think it's a Luke Combs cover of
a Fast Car. Do you want to put money on that? Don't. Here, I'm gonna look it up.
I'll put $1 on that.
I mean, not money, but like, fake podcast money.
I'll put $1 billion fake podcast dollars that Fast Car is number one right now. Hang on.
So, do we want to do this by Billboard?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Billboard Top 100. I'm gonna say it's like. I don't know, because I don't know. Honestly, my guess was gonna be Fast Car. Billboard Hot 100. Let's look. Wow. Okay. Number 1 right now is Vampire by Olivia Rodrigo.
Oh, I'm so stupid. I should
never heard this song in my life. I did not know it was out. I did not know that she had new music.
It's apparently really good.
Cool. I'll check it out. Fast Car is 3. There is a...
What's 2?
Last Night by Morgan Wallen, which I think I've heard. I think I've heard that song.
God, I hate that song.
There's a collaboration between Rima and Selena Gomez called Calm Down, which I've never heard. The Miley Cyrus song Flowers I still have not listened to.
Yeah.
Although I know of it. Cruel Summer by Taylor Swift is sitting at 7. All My Life by Lil Durk is at 6. There's a Gunna song called Fuck You Mean in 8. Karma Taylor Swift featuring Ice Spice is 9. And then Favorite Song by Tusi is number 10. Dawson, I don't know any of these songs because I don't really listen to Taylor Swift.
Yeah, I didn't even listen to Lover, which is the album Cruel Summer is from.
Is it really?
Yeah, that's from Lover.
So it's an old one.
Yeah,
Is it trending or something? Is it on TikTok?
It it was never a single, but like it was always a fan favorite, and then like recently that has just hit a fever pitch, and then she actually released it as a single.
Oh, interesting. Well, okay, we have to get to number 12 to a song that I know, which is Kill Bill by SZA, which is a great song.
Great song. Good ass song.
No, but I mean, it just goes to show you, like,
and it not like a couple of guys with their podcast mics are like gonna be the arbiters of taste and like what everyone
absolutely
is
not.
listening
No,
to.
that's not what I'm saying at all.
But it does go to show, like, there was a time like 10 years ago where both of us would have known every single song in the top 10.
because of how much we heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Which, like, to be fair, I did hear the fucking Fast Car cover in a Thai restaurant like 4 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't know. Anything else could have played and I wouldn't have known.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like,
we're just at the point where music is a collection of niches, and if you find a niche that you like and all that, that's really the that's great. Like,
that's great for you.
That's great for you.
Good for you, bro.
Good for you, dog.
I don't want to talk about the lyrics on this song.
There's nothing to talk about. Fun fact, there is nothing to talk about. The lyrics to this song are inane and pointless
and repetitive.
Opinion. Yeah.
And bad.
Yeah.
I have, like, this is the first time where we've ever gone through a Fall Out Boy song and I've been like, nope, no standout lines at all.
Nope. Zero. There's nothing like it. That also just lent to my feeling of how are you excited about this, because like it's just the most like robotic boilerplate kind of lyrics, like first draft shit that you would ever put out. Like there's nothing to it.
Yeah. It's not good.
There's a standout terrible line. So put the D in dirt now, baby, baby.
Ugh.
What an awful line. Whose fucking idea was that?
I don't want to fucking talk about that.
It's just the same kind of fucking like. It's like if you took a Pitbull party song and took any semblance of fun out of it. Because, like, some of the Pitbull songs...
That's the best description of it.
You can get down to some of the Pitbull songs. Like, fucking Don't Stop the Party or whatever that one's called. That's a banger, honestly.
Where did the party go?
I don't remember.
Oh, sorry.
The
You're
Pitbull
talking
song.
about Pitbull
song.
Never mind.
But this one, like, there's nothing. Like, I don't believe what Patrick is saying. Like, there are words coming out of his mouth, and I don't believe that he believes it. Yuck.
Yeah. Dude, so I wanted to talk to you about this because I think we need to have a come to Jesus moment about this. Okay. Neither of us are in trouble.
Yeah.
I might have to get off the Reddit. I truthfully might have to get off Reddit.
What, did you see some shit that upset you? Or?
No. The r/Fall Out Boy Reddit is the most toxically positive place on earth. I've said this before. I think being a true fan of anything, TV show, movie series, band, album, I think being a true fan of it is recognizing its flaws, forgiving them, noticing where the person who made the thing that you like saw those flaws and corrected them.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Fall Out Boy has done that recently.
Yeah. Not perfect, but they did it.
And these assholes on the Reddit, Fall Out Boy has done nothing wrong to these people. Ever. Mm-hmm. Ever. The reason I started this podcast is because Fall Out Boy is my favorite band. Mm-hmm. They are the reason I am a musician. Patrick Stump is the reason I am a singer in a band.
Mm-hmm.
I know when it's bad. How do these people not know?
It's
Dawson,
so
the
strange.
Reddit loves this song.
Oh,
They love it so much.
Oh my god.
They love it so fucking much.
I don't think I've ever seen a negative comment about a Fall Out Boy song on the subreddit. Like I don't go on there frequently at all. If I do go on Reddit, it's like for maybe 30 minutes at a time.
Good lucky you.
I just don't like it very much.
Yeah.
But in all the times I've been on the Fall Out Boy subreddit, because I've been on there a good few times, it's like it's so hard to find anything negative about a song or an album on there. It was just so strange because
tough.
like on other subreddits, like the Death Grip subreddit, they're like, yeah, Fashion Week kind of sucks or whatever, which I disagree with. I think Fashion Week
Week's
rocks.
dope. You can suck my dick if you think Fashion Week sucks.
If you think Fashion Week sucks, you need to grow up.
And a pair.
But it's like, oh my god, it's such a unique kind of vibe there. And like I think Panic at the Disco's subreddit does more shitting on their band than Fall Out Boy's does.
Oh yeah.
Which,
I mean,
because Panic is a worse band overall. But like
definitely. But also like it just goes to show you that like, you know, the second that you are like under the gun, the second that you are in the hot seat, that is when people who are like normally sycophants to you turn on a dime. And then it's like, well, Death of a Bachelor has like 4 good songs. Pray for the Wicked's fucking terrible, and this new album you're about to put out, you sound like dog shit. Which like all of those things are true. Like all of those things were objectively true when they were coming out, and I feel like as a fan of the band, you could be like, no, like even though they've made some of my favorite music ever, this Pray for the Wicked bullshit is awful. Like
it takes a like, and some like there's, if you're one of those people who listens to your favorite band and like regardless of the quality of it to other people, like you love it regardless, that's awesome. Like
that's great.
Keep doing what you're doing.
That's
it's
great.
Just like they're it's hard to put into words because like not oh my god, this is hard to put into words.
Yeah.
It's really easy to kind of like look at a project and just like be completely baffled as to why anyone would like this. And honestly, at the end of the day, it just comes down to like tastes are different, and sometimes like these people's attachment to the band is like so strong.
Exactly.
That
no,
they literally can't do anything wrong, which is fine.
And that's fine. And that's like
it's just deeply confusing.
That's why And I am by no means insulting these people.
Absolutely.
That is not what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
I don't think you're stupid. I don't think that you are not as smart as me just because you don't think as critically about my favorite band. That is fine. I just think that I am just very confused.
Yeah.
Like I go through the Reddit and I think what I realized this week, Dawson, is this is not a place for me. I don't belong here.
Yeah.
I do not belong on r/Fall Out Boy.
Yeah.
We're not cutting it as a segment because I think there's some pretty interesting stuff in there. Not for this song, but
no.
Just a lot of just let me rewind what I said about toxic positivity in the subreddit. It's not toxic. You can like whatever you want to like.
It's also because
it's just
like,
confusing to me.
It's confusing, and also just like Fall Out Boy as people haven't done anything wrong.
No,
like
not at all.
They haven't done anything cancelable, so like I don't think it crosses over into the toxic threshold because as people they seem pretty demonstrably like fine.
Yeah, no, and like an example of a band whose fan base is like definitively toxically positive would be like the Falling in Reverse fan base.
Yeah.
So, like, that guy has legitimately like murdered people.
Yeah.
And I don't want him to murder me. So, you know, I'll watch what I say. But
did he get convicted of that, or are those like
he went to prison for it? Yeah, I mean it was
Oh.
manslaughter, but like
you can't kill us, Ronnie Radke. That is something that you went to jail for.
Yeah. Well, no, like all I'm saying is like good example. Randy Bly from Lamb of God was driving in Europe, and due to some kind of error, it was ruled an accident in court. Randy Bly did kill a guy on accident with his car. I forget the total situation. Randy Bly stood in court and said, whatever my sentence is, I will take it like a man. I will serve my time. I will do whatever I have to do because I feel so bad that this happened. Ronnie Radke does not give a single shit that he took a real human life.
Yeah.
And that is the problem. It's just like, anyway, not toxically positive. What I'm saying is, I don't think I'm ever going to comment on the Reddit. I don't think I'm ever going to pose a question to the subreddit as a grand thing. And here's another level I'm going to go to, Dawson. I don't think I'm ever going to say something bad about Fall Out Boy at a Fall Out Boy show. Ever.
Oh my god.
There you go.
There we go. That's Carson's big statement on the subreddit.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to? So, we might be launching a Patreon, everybody. And
maybe sometime soon.
And before we get out of here, I wanted to pitch to Dawson, which I already pitched it to you over text. So
yeah, we're just gonna do it on air.
We're gonna do it on air. We have not done it quite yet, but if this is something you guys would be interested in, we would like to have basically a separate podcast to this podcast that would be Patreon only, along with maybe, I don't know, maybe we read Joe's book on Patreon or something like that. But for now, the Patreon content is going to be a new thing we like to call Made You Listen. It's like Made You Look, but it's
with
made
ears.
You listen. With ears, yeah. Basically, the idea, we're not going to stray too far from the formula of this podcast. It's going to be two wheels. One wheel contains contains 10 slices. One are 10 albums that Dawson selected for me to listen to, and the other wheel is 10 albums that I have selected to make Dawson listen to. Again, this will only be 10 episodes of content unless we do
one episode,
which I'd be fine with.
10 or 20 depends.
Yeah.
We haven't exactly worked out
really
how
narrowed
we're
down the
going to do
details.
it, but that's the idea.
If you this is the first and this is the first time we've been talking about doing this for a while. This is the first time that Dawson and I have landed on a concept that we are both excited about for extra content. But we do not want to put work into something that no one wants to hear.
Yeah.
But we do know that you love it when we're tortured. So, just based on analytics, based on replies, all that shit.
Yeah. If that's something y'all would be interested in, let us know. Smile.
Let us know. Smile. You ready to rate this thing? Spin the wheel and get the fuck out of here? Cool. All right. I have my ranking. Cool.
1 out of 10.
This is getting a 1 out of 10. It originally, which we didn't even fucking talk about this. I can't believe we didn't mention this once because I had forgotten about it. It was originally going to be a 2 out of 10.
Oh shit!
For me, until it reaches the dubstep bridge.
Yep.
In which I immediately gave it a 1, and I said this song is irredeemable.
Yep. I can't believe I forgot about that.
I can't believe we forgot to talk about
it's such a bewildering part of the song.
I can't believe it's real.
Comes out of nowhere. Terrible, huge, huge indicator.
Awful dog shit.
Why this is a 1 out of 10 for both of us.
Yeah, 1 out of 10. I fucking hate this song.
Terrible song. God damn.
All right.
Wheel time.
Wheel time. All right.
And then after we spin the wheel,
you're gonna go home, I think.
I don't know. I guess.
Oh.
I don't know. Do we have to backlog for your Europe tour?
We have to backlog next week.
Okay.
And I'm hungry. We'll backlog next week.
Okay.
Fuck backlogging tonight. I did so many hours of yard work today, dog.
So true.
I can't wait to tell you about the thing that I can't talk about on air.
Okay.
I legitimately can't wait.
Let's go.
All right. Here we go, everybody. I'm removing the damn Death Valley from the wheel.
The Death Valley made me want to die. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Whoa, 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 whoa. We gotta have Whitney back on again.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Whitney Jordan, by the way.
True.
Guest of the pod.
Her birthday was on the 11th. Happy birthday, Whitney Jordan.
Happy birthday, Whitney Jordan. Happy birthday, Whitney Jordan.
Shout
Happy
out
birthday,
Whitney Jordan.
Whitney Jordan. Hey, while I'm scrolling for this, did you watch the whole Prince Deep Discog dive?
I did.
Dude, me too.
What a phenomenal video.
Oh my God, 39 albums.
Jesus Christ.
39 albums.
How do you make 39 albums in a lifetime?
You're Prince, and you release one a year. I think even like, I'd like to bring up that even fucking, where is this fucking song? Did I already remove it? No, it's right here. Even with like it being such like a monumental album, Purple Rain's only 9 songs.
Mm-hmm.
Which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So like pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But all of his albums are pretty short. They're like 8 or 9 songs. And
except for the double albums.
Except for the double and the triple albums. Those are really, really fucking long.
Real long.
I listened to Rainbow Children.
Oh, yeah.
Loved it. So good.
Hell
I thought it was awesome.
I'm probably going to listen to that one soon.
Yeah, no. So I listened to Purple Rain, Love Symbol, the one that's like just the symbol, and Rainbow Children. And hate to say it, Prince might be really good.
Whoa, really?
Prince might be like amazing.
No way.
All right, let's spin this wheel.
This damn ass wheel.
I'm spinning it.
The button has been pressed. The wheel is spinning.
The wheel's spinning.
Ooh!
Oh, we needed this so bad.
Let's
We're
fucking
so
go.
back, Dawson.
We're so back.
We're so fucking back.
Oh my God.
Lordy.
We got She's My Winona.
Ladies and gentlemen, She's My Winona.
Let's fucking go.
All right. I can't wait. All right.
I got to roll out the red carpet.
Yeah, roll out the red carpet, Dawson.
Thank you so much for listening. If you made it this far, if you see me in real life, I will give you a firm handshake.
That's new.
Follow.
I love that.
Follow Carson's band at the Callous Style Boys on Instagram, at Callous Style Boys on Twitter. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Follow my band at Bummerhill ATL on Twitter, at Bummerhill on Instagram. Follow the podcast at The Dreaded Wheel on Twitter. Once
I feel like we need a podcast Instagram.
Yeah, probably need a TikTok too.
Yeah.
We'll
do it.
We'll get on that at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But thank you for listening. Hope you come back next week. Bye.
I'm Carson from Dowboys on Instagram, but I think I might change it to girlfriend hair. Okay, bye.